Good Tuesday evening, everybody, and welcome back to another video. And I do apologize that these next 4 videos that I'm hoping to film tonight are backed up. Yeah, I kind of got behind on myself, but anyway, I will be doing these 4 videos back to back to back to back tonight, and it's pretty much going to be rapid fire. So let's go ahead and get started with my much awaited review of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. So I already wrapped up the Indiana Jones franchise like last week, and again, I should have had these out, but I slacked. It tends to happen sometimes, but here I am right now. But anyway, drama aside, this is the second entry in the Indiana Jones franchise, a franchise that I absolutely love to this day. And this one is technically a prequel to Raiders of the Lost Ark, because this starts in 1935 in Shanghai, and Indiana Jones is technically in this club, and he's after some Chinese emperor or something. I forgot, but he's in a container or something. But that was rough. But he's pursued by Chinese gangsters with the likes of Lao She and a couple of his cronies. And this film starts off with a Chinese rendition of Anything Goes, performed by Willie Scott, which I will definitely get into her character in this video, because I got some things to say. But anyway, going back to this, Indy is after this, the ashes of this Chinese emperor. I'm just gonna have to look it up or something and post it here. But he gets in the crosshairs of trying to get it back from Lao She, but Lao She poisons his drink, and the only way to get the antidote is to seize the emperor. But that starts off with a cat and mouse game where Indy has to get the antidote to survive, and all sorts of shenanigans happen. But Indy and Willie both get away, and they drop into a car that is driven by Short Round, played by Ke Huy Quan, and he's one of my favorite Indiana Jones supporting characters, and he's just like a 9-year-old kid that helps Indy along the way. So after getting away from Lao She and his cronies, Indy and the gang get on a plane to get away from them, but Lao She's cronies actually pilot the plane that they're on, and they sabotage the plane, and they pretty much leave Indy and the gang almost to a fiery death in the mountains. So they do escape, obviously, and one of the most insane, implausible effects that I've seen in a movie. Granted, this is like 84, and that plane escape scene looks terrible now. But they fly off of a mountain, and then they end up in India. And then you have your titular Temple of Doom storyline. So they go to this Indian village and they find that their sacred stones are missing. So they have to go to Pankot Palace to get the source back. And this is a very, very solid movie, but it is beyond silly. Which brings me into the character of Willie Scott, played by Kate Capshaw. One of the worst indie girls in the whole franchise. She's very annoying, and she's very self-centered and egotistical, and she just annoys the living crap out of Indy and Short Round during this entire movie. But she does come around near the end when she actually starts falling for Indy. But I'll get into that soon. There are a few scenes that I do want to talk about in this movie that really stick out to make this movie dark and just unsettling at times. For one, you have the dinner scene, and that is probably one of the most sickest, disgusting scenes in the Indiana Jones franchise by far. I mean, they're like fed beetles, they're fed like eyeball soup, baby snakes from like a python. When I first saw that dinner scene, I'm like, what am I watching? But it is part of the custom of India where they eat all this stuff, and it's explained in the earlier scene where they're forced to eat bugs, and Indy tells Willie that these people haven't like eaten in days, so just eat it. And it's a pretty funny part. But yeah, that scene's out of the way. And you also get into the sacrifice scene. And it is pretty graphic for a PG movie. I mean, you also have the villain of Molaram, played by Amrish Puri, is his name. And he just like reaches into this guy's chest and rips his heart out and lowers him into lava. It's a pretty messed up way to go, but it's pretty metal as well. But yeah. And you also have a very slight side story with Indy falling into like the black sleep of Kali, which makes him part of Molaram's army. And I really do enjoy this movie quite a bit. And the way this movie ends, nearing the end, is what I'd like to say. Indy is stuck on is stuck in the middle of the bridge, and he decides to just like cut it in half. And Willie's like, "Are you nuts?" And then Short Round says, "He no nuts, he's crazy." But everybody and Malaram's army like falls into like the crocodile pit and just gets eaten. It's really silly, really dark, and I really enjoy it as well. But my final grade for Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom is going to be a B. It's not the weakest of the franchise, but it is by far the silliest. But it's very charming as well, I guess. But this has always been like a guilty pleasure for me, and I really do enjoy it quite a bit. So that was my review on Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. And before I wrap this video up, I kind of like want to show the original poster. It's much better than that because it's got a lot to it. I mean, it actually shows like Malaram, basically. But I'll post a picture like right here. So yeah, that was my thoughts on Temple of Doom. And stay tuned for my review on The Last Crusade. I'll see you guys in a minute. Adios. Peace.